never worked outside. I always been in the street, hustling. I never had a regular job in my life. That's what I'm trying to tell you. I never had a regular job.
Narducci was serving 8 months on a drug possession charge.
I was working in the street and down West Farms, and some guy approached me. I thought it was a date because I work in the street. So he gives me the money and he asked me where could I get drugs, and I sent him to the drug dealer. I mean, he gave me the money and I went to the drug dealer and got the drugs from him, and I gave him the stuff, one crack, and before you know it, they got me and him. My first felony.
Narducci told our producer she had worked as a prostitute for the past 14 years.
I didn't like myself doing it. I wasn't too happy about it, but I had no choice. I had no money. I had no nothing.
How many years did you do that?
Oof, since I was 21.
Fam, what's going on, man? It's your boy E.I. the King, and this is the Incarceration Podcast. Today, I'm doing a reaction video of one of the worst county jails throughout the nation, the infamous Rikers Island in the state of New York, the women's side, where we're taking an inside look at food service. So before we go ahead and get into this video, man, y'all do me a favor, like this video, subscribe to this channel if you haven't, and let's go ahead and check out one of the worst county jails throughout the nation, the infamous Rikers Island County Jail in the state of New York, the women's side, where we take an inside look at food service. Let's go ahead and check it out, y'all.
Coming up on Lock Up Raw.
I always been in the street, hustling. I never had a regular job in my life. That's what I'm trying to tell you. I never had a regular job.
One woman finds hope in a jailhouse bakery. One of the most unlikely sights we found on New York City's Rikers Island was the jail's huge bakery. Here, inmates work alongside civilian bakers to help feed the jail's 14,000 residents.
We make 88,000 loaves a week. Every inmate has to get 4 slices of bread per meal per day. We also make bread that's used in the facilities to feed the employees. So we make a lot of bread here.
They gave us a couple of loaves and this huge crock of butter, and we slathered this butter on loaves of the bread, and it rivaled any bakery in New York.
Inmate Rhonda Narducci was hoping that the bakery would help turn her life around.
When I first came in here, I wanted to hurt myself. I was like really depressed. I was like going crazy. I said, my first felony. I said, oh my God, my records are messed up now. I don't know what to do, so I got myself into the bakery, keep myself busy, and I love the bakery.
Ever worked in a bakery before?
No, I never worked outside. I always been in the street, hustling. I never had a regular job in my life. That's what I'm trying to tell you. I never had a regular job.
Narducci was serving 8 months on a drug possession charge.
I was working in the street and down West Farms, and some guy approached me. I thought it was a date because I work in the street. So he gives me the money and he asked me where could I get drugs, and I sent him to the drug dealer. I mean, he gave me the money and I went to the drug dealer and got the drugs from him, and I gave him the stuff, one crack, and before you know it, they got me and him. My first felony.
Narducci told our producer she had worked as a prostitute for the past 14 years.
I didn't like myself doing it. I wasn't too happy about it, but I had no choice. I had no money. I had no nothing.
How many years did you do that?
Oof, since I was 21.
Narducci hopes this.
Dang, bro, that's sad, man. Poor lady, man. But before we get into anything else, man, I got a question. In your county jail or in your prison, do they have the bakery section where they actually bake the bread from scratch? Me personally, I've never seen it. I've never even heard of it. And if you don't know, I did all my time in prison in the state of Florida over 12 years. And I worked in food service, or probably throughout 3 different prison bids, I probably worked in food service over 5-6 years. And I never worked in the bakery. I was always either a butcherman or in the dish room or in the pot room or salad prep or things like that, or just the line, putting the food on the trays and things like that. And of course, I helped out in the bakery before, but I never was assigned to the bakery. But all the bakers make in Florida prison are like the cornbread, coffee cake, cookies, what else? And that's pretty much it, at least I can think of right now. Definitely not the bread, because I remember, of course, every Thursday when the trucks come in, like all the supplies throughout the week to cook the meals throughout the incarcerated population, you know, we just get these huge carts, you know, loaded with bread, and we stack them up and put them on this little cart with wheels and wheel them inside to the storage room. So I've personally never heard of a prison or a county jail that bakes their bread from scratch. So all the convicts watching, man, who did time at Rikers Island, let me know, did you bake bread if you worked in food service, or even if they still do this today? Obviously this is an old video, so I'm not sure if that's something that they still do, but let me know if you did time anywhere throughout the nation, in a county jail or a prison, and if you're like, yes, they do bake the bread there. And if so, I think that's pretty cool, man. And even the lady was saying like, yo, this is the best bread, you know, throughout the state. And it's like kind of weird to even think that, because you think they get the cheapest things that they can buy. That's what they do in prison, bro. That's why, like in Florida prisons, bro, they call a lot of the meat trays like dog food, because it's literally like styrofoam little pieces of TVP, textured vegetable protein, and you just put water on it, you know, and cook it, and it blows up, and it's just disgusting, bro. You know what I mean? It's don't even taste like anything. It's just disgusting, dog. A lot of the meat now is TVP, textured vegetable protein, and I think they just buy that stuff not only to abide by the laws and regulations of the people who have some type of dietary restrictions when it comes to their religious reasons, but also too because it's the cheapest thing they can buy. You know, I think that even on some of the packages, it says like not for human like consumption, which is absolutely insane. But also too, just speaking about her past lifestyle, man, like, yo, it's just sad to hear stories, man. A lot of people who, you know, are involved in a lifestyle of crime, they kind of get caught up in that cycle because of a broken home, you know what I mean, life circumstances. And, you know, for all the skeptics watching, bro, I know, of course, like there's all types of people who watch these videos and are on this channel, which is fine and I'm cool with, and I appreciate and I respect everybody's opinion and their comments and their 2 cents. But for the skeptics who always make comments like, oh, they deserve to be in jail, you know, lock them up, throw away the key, they shouldn't have any rights or any opportunities and things like that, yo, like, can you really be that ignorant to think that, yo, like a lot of these people, man, who are in prison, and even myself included, bro, like, and don't get me wrong, like I can't use that excuse, or I can't even say that, yo, I was forced into this. Nah, bro, I chose the streets at a young age. But some people, bro, like even though they may not have been forced into it, everyone has a decision to make, of course. But some people, bro, like the odds are very much well stacked against them because of what they've been exposed to since children, abuse, broken homes, neighborhoods, you know. So I think that just comes with being mature enough to view it from that paradigm. Like, dang, bro, like some people, dog, like kind of were like born into that world, you know what I mean? So it's sad when you hear stories of people who are caught up, like this lady, you know, in prostitution for like, what you say, over 14 years, since she was like 20 or 21 or something like that. It's sad, man. But let me know in the comments, man, about baking the bread in your county jail or in your prisons that you did time at.
Skills she has picked up in the bakery will give her a second chance as a mother.
Got a daughter?
Yes, she's 14. She's with the father's mother in Florida.
What's her name?
Roseanne.
She writes to you?
Yeah.
What does she write?
Oh, she's saying that she loves me, she misses me. I feel like crying right now.
It's okay. It's all right. You're right?
Yeah.
It's okay.
I just miss my daughter.
I know you do. I know you do. It's all right. All right. My heart went out to her because whenever prisoners begin to talk about their children, it is the one very sensitive spot in their lives. And no matter what they may have done to get them to jail, to prison, they still are very touched and love their children. But the good thing is that you got a lot out of being here, right?
Yes. Now, ever since I've been in here for 7 months, doing my 8 months, I feel good now. God, I just thank God that I'm in here. I'm glad. Because when I was in the street, I started smoking that stuff, and it didn't help me. It didn't get me anywhere. It would get me into trouble. It got me in here. But now I learned my lesson. I ain't touching it no more. I want my life back together.
I felt that I was going to commit crime to the day I died. I hated the government, society, America, slavery, whatever, all the excuses you could think of, until I started to just take accountability for my own actions and responsibility for what I had done to my life.
Scott Randolph was another Rikers inmate anticipating his release. When we met him, he was serving a year for petty larceny and violating parole.
I just spiraled out of control as far as criminality goes. So I've been back and forth a few times, mostly for drug activity, trying to make money hustling in the street.
But Randolph took advantage of the jail's writing program and had hopes of becoming a journalist.
We publish the Rikers Review. It's a magazine created by inmates for inmates. It was extremely helpful. It gave me a lot of computer skills, marketable skills. So I'm looking forward to trying to utilize that when I get out.
The prison journal Randolph showed us included one of his poems.
Can you read a little bit of your poem?
All right. This one's called Hold This. Hold this. Grip these words as if your embrace alone will help me save my life, so that I might live to give my tomorrows as pavement for yesterday's debts.
Randolph says the poem is his vision for a new life.
The future conceals hopes and happiness I've yet to feel. With this, you present a fresh foundation on which to rebuild. The peace I seek is real. I reach for your compassion, strong as steel. This is my truth that you feel. May you cherish my conscience and hold this. That's it.
That's real, dog. And one thing I want to talk about, like a beautiful aspect of being incarcerated, of course, I say it all the time on this channel, bro. One day being separated from our children, our family, and loved ones is one day too long. But, bro, also, as I always say, man, sometimes at our lowest point in life, when we're utterly broken, is when we become that much more accessible for the hand of God to radically transform our lives. And I'm living proof of it, bro. Throughout 12 years of imprisonment, dog, that's where I authentically encountered Jesus Christ, and he radically transformed my life. But even apart from like spiritual transformation, like a lot of people who come from a background and a lifestyle of crime, of just selling dope or drug addiction or robbing or whatever crime or lifestyle pattern that may have be, you know, that was destructive, you know, a lot of people who come from that type of background never really had the opportunity or the time to discover like their hobbies, their gifts, their skills, their interests, their work ethic, and just their purpose and their belonging in this life. So a lot of times when people get incarcerated, like the first lady, like she fell in love with, you know, baking. And honestly, like, yo, could she get out and be a great baker and maybe even open up her own bakery one day? For sure. But that's just an example that there's probably so many other things that that woman is gifted in, and that maybe she hasn't even like tapped into it yet because she hasn't been exposed to different opportunities to be aware of it. But the time incarcerated, being sober, healing, maturing, just rehabilitating, like this guy right here discovering his skill and developing a passion and a love for writing and journalism and poetry. So many people in prison or in county jails discover, you know, talents that they never really knew that they had, or they didn't take the time out before to refine them and to perfect them and to grow them, whether it's painting portraits or rapping or just being a motivational speaker, whatever it is, man. You know, when you're incarcerated, there's so little things that you can do apart from like programming and things like that. A lot of people, man, they just tell stories and talk about their past and communicate because, yo, it's a civilization behind bars or behind a wall. So everybody's always talking. And the negative side of it is like all the manipulation, the finesse, you know, the lies, you know, things like that to get over on people, to hurt people, to steal, to take. But the positive side of that is people, you know, learn how to speak. And a lot of convicts can speak eloquently and speak clearly, and they learn how to convey and express and share their emotions or their thoughts because the time that people have while incarcerated to discover themselves and even to communicate themselves with other people. So, man, I think that's a really dope point that I want to highlight. And all the convicts watching, man, you know this. So I want to hear from all the convicts, man, what are some skills or passions or hobbies that you found or developed and grew while you were incarcerated incarcerated, that maybe even now today in society, like you're literally doing that as your full time, or it's just an outlet for you, but it's really like a part of your purpose in this life. And if you don't know, dog, I'm a rapper, you know what I mean? Like that is part of my career, you know, I'm full time, a music artist. But bro, I wrote poetry and I rapped throughout the entirety of my life. As a kid, it was just an outlet for me to express myself. And when I go to juvenile programs and juvenile detention, I would just write. That's how I got things out. That's how I vented. But while I was in prison, and especially whenever I got saved, God really redeemed that gift and cultivated it to where my music now had purpose, to where not only could I share my experiences and what I went through and what I was going through, but I also could write what other people were going through, and it would just minister to them, and God would use it. So now today, like bro, like, you know, look me up on Apple Music, Spotify, whatever, YouTube, EI the King. Like, yo, I'm blessed to be able to travel throughout the nation, you know, performing in primarily prisons, but also too, like, yo, bars, clubs, South by Southwest. You know, this year, you know, the year before last, I was an official South by Southwest artist, and I'm not sharing that to like flex or get some kudos, but I'm sharing that because, yo, God developed and really cultivated that gift of music while I was incarcerated. You know what I mean? So all the convicts watching, bro, what are those gifts? What are those skills? What are those talents? I want to hear it. Put it in the comments. In this moment right here, this principle that we're talking about, discovering your gifts, your passions, your talents, your purpose while being incarcerated, deserves a hype moment. Y'all do me a favor, go ahead and hit that hype button so people can see this video and realize, yeah, being incarcerated sucks, but it can be a life-changing moment and a time for people, number one, to find faith in Christ Jesus, but also to rehabilitate, to heal, to grow, and find their purpose. So look, family, it's your boy EI the King, and this is the Incarceration Podcast. And family, look, I got a fire HBO style series on the full episode playlist. It's a chronological journey of my 12 years in prison. It's called The Incarceration. Season 1 has been out, but season 2 is just now coming out. But to access it, you have to become an all access member to this channel. And this is a preview clip of season 2 right here. And a lot of times it's not one-on-one. It's a lot of people getting jumped. A lot of 2-on-2s or 3s-on-5s all day, every day. No exaggeration. When the police see the fighting, majority of the time, they won't even break it up, won't even look, won't even lock down the dorm, just put a blind eye to it and keep on going. Non-stop chaos all day, every day. No exaggeration. Nothing but yelling, fighting, and occasionally stabbings. One thing I began to realize as well at JIT camp is that people had knives for sure, but they call them fence pokers. Little wire that people unravel off the fence posts, they sharpen it up on the floor, and it becomes a knife. But they're small and they're really skinny. So even though they go in and out real quick and real fast and, you know, will puncture people, it's not really deadly unless you hit somebody in the jugular or in the eye or something like that. And also, if you didn't know, man, I am a rapper. My artist name is EI the King. You can find my music wherever you listen to your music at. Go to my artist YouTube channel, EI the King, to check out my music videos. Follow me on Instagram, EI the King. TikTok, EI the King Official. For all you gamers out there, follow me on Twitch, EI the King Gaming. And family, look, I got a new YouTube channel, all crime things related. It's called Real Crime Stories Unlocked. There's about to be a link that pops up at the end of this video. Go ahead and click that link. It's going to take you to my new channel. Subscribe, follow, check out the content. It's fire. And family, look, we're on the journey to 100,000 subs. Right now we're at 50K. I appreciate all the day one viewers and day one subscribers. If you have not yet subscribed, please go ahead and do so. Y'all do me a favor, go ahead and like this video right now. For all the convicts watching, man, if you done time in a county jail, state prison, federal prison, you want to share your incarcerated experiences, email me at eithekingbooking@gmail.com or DM me on Instagram at eitheking_. As I interview you, I'll post your interview up on this channel. If you got a YouTube channel, social media, whatever you want to promote, I'll allow you to promote it throughout the video. And y'all stay tapped in for more fire content to continue to come your way. It's your boy EI the King, and I'm out. Peace.